What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and today we are going to be talking about the tanks of everyday carry. What do I mean by tanks? They are firearms that shoot really well. They are firearms that can take an absolute beating. They can take out whatever's dished to them. I don't care if that's like bumping into stuff with them, dropping it, them just getting beat up and still running. On top of that, they're just as reliable as can be. It doesn't matter what you do to them. It doesn't matter how much you clean them to an extent. They just run. And I'm going to be talking about Springfield Armory pistols. Now, I'm not talking about 2011s or anything like that. I'm talking about the average firearm that someone can afford, so anywhere between that $400 to $700 range. So the average American can afford that and use it as their everyday carry. And I've been extremely impressed. I made a video talking about, is Glock perfection real, right? And I mentioned all the things I don't think Glock does right. I mentioned all the things I do think they do right. And I explained what Glock perfection means to me, and that's more about reliability and shootability, parts compatibility, aftermarket support, and so on. So therefore, in my mind, Glock is almost perfect. Now, hear me out first. I go watch that video. I bag on them about all the dumb stuff, the sights, the crappy sights they give you having to swap right out. I mean, I can go on for hours. That's in another video. It is what it is. But I think a company that is definitely underlooked when it comes to reliability, proven track record, and so on, are the Springfield Armory lineups, right? The polymer frame firearms from Springfield Armory. I'm talking the XDS, the Hellcat Pro, the XD, the XDM, and so on. And now even the Echelon, right? Which I haven't tested thoroughly. I've shot it. I have videos up of me shooting it. Great firearm, great shooter. But when it comes down to reliability, this is what I have to base my experience off of. Now, I just want to start by saying I have 3 Hellcats, the originals, right? And this is my second favorite carry firearm right here, this Hellcat. I also have a Hellcat Pro. I have an XD. I have an XDM. I plan on getting an XDM in 10mm. But for right now, we'll talk about these. I also used to have an XDS. I got rid of it, and I regret it because I used to love that firearm. But here's the thing. This XD right here has like my second most rounds, I want to say, through it. It's something like 12 or 13,000 rounds. This thing is taking a beating, and this is one of my first firearms I ever got. This is my second barrel for it, and honestly, this thing just holds up. What I love about the XD is I think it's a great firearm for everyday carry for someone first starting off. And I think that's because of the overall weight and width of the slide. Really helps with shootability. Also, they can really learn firearm safety, firearm fundamentals, and get used to carrying with a round in the chamber, knowing nothing can happen because 1, you have a trigger safety, and 2, you have a grip safety. And I know some people say, oh, it's an extra point of failure and blah, blah, blah. Well, once you get used to it, I think they have a pin kit or something to where you can pin this inward so it'll never affect anything and so on. And I've never had a single issue, and this is one of my most used firearms. I don't carry it the most, but it's one of my most shot firearms because I really enjoy shooting it. And what I really like about the XD and the XDM is the ability to shoot it one-handed so accurately. This is the firearm I'm the best with one-handed. I'm better than this than the XDM even, but I'm just so used to it, and on top of that, you get good capacity. It is a chunker. It is a heavy boy, but once again, if you're just starting off, or even if you just want a firearm with very little recoil and are sick of the hype on the Micro 9s and stuff, XD is just a flawless way to go. And yes, it was made in Croatia, and yes, it's HS product, and yes, it was for cheaper, but I don't care. If the product I get runs reliably, I can't really put a price on that, and that just is what it is. And I also can't fault a company because of what country they're in. If they make a good, reliable firearm, it doesn't matter where it's built. There's geniuses everywhere that come up with stuff. There's engineers everywhere that are great at their jobs. It just is what it is. This is my XDM Elite. This thing is an absolute beast. This is going to be my new home defense setup. I made a video about it. I put a light on it, 36-round mag, and so on, but we'll talk about that in another video. But this thing just handles recoil better than any other firearm I own in 9mm. I don't know what it is other than the heavy slide or the guide rod, but this thing just runs and runs and runs. Very little recoil. Once again, has that grip safety if you want it. It protrudes a little more, but that just helps with overall reliability because it only has to be compressed about 50% of the way. Then that round can go, but once again, helps you learn fundamentals, firearm safety, and so on. But it is an upgrade compared to the XD. It has a better trigger, has a longer barrel, 0.8 inches longer, very similar in capacity, but look at that. They're both chunkers. It is what it is. But this comes with a fiber optic front sight and a U-notch rear. Very easy sight to line up. Striker indicator. It has literally every safety feature, and it's just stacked with features, and everything works so great. The slide racks like butter. The mag release shoots the mag out. I mean, it's just a great overall firearm, and it's super overlooked. These are just beasts of a firearm. Next up is the Hellcat. I have 3 OG Hellcats. And out of all of them, there's over like 12,000 rounds now, 11,000 rounds, something like that, between 3 firearms, the stainless steel, my other black one, and this one. And this is the one I've been carrying the most lately, and it just eats everything. Like I said, during the pandemic with my other Hellcat, I burned through a barrel by shooting steel ammo. I went out and bought a brand new barrel for it and all that, and it just ate everything. Steel ammo. I load up a mag with 6 or 7 different hollow points, different, self-defense rounds, cheap ones, crappy ones, frangible ammo, just all sorts of stuff, and it would just run everything consistently. I'd keep it dirty, and I'd keep training it. I made videos called The Journey of the Hellcat, where I just test it and test it and test it, and I can't get it to fail. I cannot get my original Hellcats to fail or malfunction. The only way I could probably do that is if I did it on purpose, which obviously would make no sense. That wouldn't really count as a malfunction. That'd be human error at that point. But I absolutely love Springfield Armory products, and I get they're made by HS Product, but I don't care. Springfield Armory is the one importing them and bringing them to us and selling them to the civilian population. And on top of that, they don't break the bank. You can get the Hellcat with 5 mags and a gear bag for like $530. You can't beat that. And once again, you can't put a price on reliability. You just can't. Next up is one of their newer releases. Not the newest, but one of their newer releases, and the Hellcat Pro. The Hellcat Pro is just the smoothest shooting Hellcat, obviously. It has a longer barrel. It's heavier in the slide and stuff, but I feel like it's a good combination between the Hellcat and the XDs. It's somewhere in the middle. This is a compact size. This is like compact size but thin and light. And then this is going to be your Micro 9. So it's a great overall release. Once again, this is a great firearm for someone just starting off. It doesn't have all the safety features. It's still drop safe. It still has a trigger safety. But at the same time, if you want to throw an optic on it, you can throw an optic. It comes with night sights right out of the box. Very ergonomic, great texturing. Once again, I got the gear up package, 5 mags and a bag, a range bag for $530. So now you have 5 magazines, a bag to put your firearm when you're going to train, and you're good to go right out of the box. Night sights, comes with a rail. This is just one of those solid firearm choices, right? Nothing fancy, right? I think it looks beautiful in my opinion. I love the way the Hellcats look, but it's just nothing fancy. But here's the thing, it's going to get the job done, right? It's going to be there when you need it. It's going to defend your life. You can get really good at shooting these. And a lot of people definitely, including myself, who have shot the Hellcat a lot, when you pick up the Hellcat Pro and start shooting it, you really notice that they did a great, great job at making this much more shootable than this. And when it comes down to size, this is the 17-round mag, so this can go in the Hellcat Pro. But, I mean, it's basically the same exact firearm. You can take the slide from here, throw it on the original Hellcat. It's just an awesome, awesome line of pistols. I don't care what anybody says. And then we're going to address one thing real quick, because I know it's going to be in the comments. I know the anti-2A situation they went through, right? Someone was giving money to some bill or supporting something that's anti-2A, whatever the case may be. That was not the owners of Springfield Armory. That was not the owners of HS Product. On top of that, think about this from a money perspective, a business perspective. Springfield Armory gets almost 0 contracts. They have no contracts with law enforcement, military, and so on. And if they do, they're very far and few in between, right? It's very rare. So where are they making money? They are making money off us. They're not making money off people in Europe, because people in Europe can't carry, and the majority of Europe can't carry. You can't even own a firearm. They're making money off of U.S. citizens, right, that just want a firearm to protect themselves. Not contracts, nothing like that. So therefore, it would make 0 sense for that company to be completely anti-2A and all that. This was an individual that was working separately, and I'm sure he had his own incentive, which was, once again, probably money. But as an overall business, Springfield Armory is not anti-2A or anything like that. They only make money off of us. Let's be real here. That's just facts. Glock, they don't necessarily need us. They got all these contracts. SIG, they definitely don't need us. They have all these contracts, and they just got one of the biggest contracts. But Springfield Armory, they don't. So they make money off the civilian population of the United States of America. Therefore, their business would have tanked if that's the way they lived. But that's not. That was one individual person acting rogue, going out and doing something against other people's wishes. Therefore, I don't hold it against them. And also, I'm not just sticking up for them because I like their firearms. If they were against anti-2A, I would have none of them on this table. If they're an anti-2A company, you wouldn't even see me be making videos about them. I wouldn't be promoting them or anything like that. Because what you see in front of me right here is one of the greatest rights to be ever put into anything in any country. And that's the ability to try and stay alive. That's the point of humanity, is being able to survive and take care and nurture and protect your family. And one of the only ways to do that in this crazy, crazy world is with firearms. Not just regular firearms, though. Reliable ones. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. It means a lot to me. Hit the like button, drop a comment, subscribe. Lots more to come. Thanks.